My name is Andy Ritan. I am the owner and broker of Ritan Property Group in Atlanta, Georgia. And in this video, I'm going to talk about insurance. And there are several kinds of insurance that we need to talk about. The first is the owner's insurance, homeowner's insurance. You need to have your property insured. Most homeowners have a mortgage, and therefore the mortgage holder requires you to have an insurance policy that insures you and them if there's damage to the property. Whether you're required to by your mortgage company or not, you need to have one. The important thing is that most homeowners have a owner-occupant policy, and the moment you move out and put it in the name or allow a tenant to occupy the property, it's now a landlord property. So you need to switch your insurance from an owner insurance policy to a landlord policy. It's usually cheaper because the tenant is responsible for his own possessions and furniture and so on. So you're going to save a little money in most cases. There's an important factor though, which is that very few insurance policies will cover a vacant property for an extended period of time. There may be only a 30 or a 60-day period in which that property is going to be covered while it's vacant. So if there's been damage, if there's been an eviction, if for any reason that property is going to sit vacant for 4 months or 6 months, for example, you really need to look at getting a special insurance product that's going to make you whole if that house burns to the ground or there's some other property during that time, because otherwise you may be uninsured. You may be paying a premium, you may think the house is going to be covered, but if it's been extended, if it hasn't had an extended vacancy, you won't be insured. So vacancy coverage is in some cases hard to get, but very worth having if your property is vacant. There's another kind of insurance that you need to ask your manager about, and that is, what kind of insurance does the property manager carry? And that's very important for you too. Some property management agreements, for example, the one used by the Georgia Association of Realtors, sets up the owner as, if I hire someone on your behalf to work on your property, that's your employee. You're responsible for what happens. So do you have workers' compensation insurance? Do you have general liability insurance? If that guy working on your gutters falls off the ladder and breaks his back, what's your position? If your property manager has hired a vendor to repair your property and puts all that responsibility and liability back on you. So you need to look at that very carefully. In my company's case, for example, we carry workers' compensation insurance, we carry general liability insurance, I carry errors and omissions insurance, which means that if I make a mistake, you are protected from my mistake. That's a special insurance policy that not every broker has. It's worth having. It's a protection for you as an owner if your property manager has it. And lastly, I have a crime bond. I hold now hundreds of thousands of dollars in my accounts for security deposits and rents that come in. Larger property managers may hold millions of dollars in their accounts. What if an employee takes off with the money and goes to Mexico and is never found? If the property manager has a crime bond, you, the owner, are going to be made whole by that. So these are 4 different insurance products to inquire whether your property manager has them as a protection for you. The last thing I'll talk about here, which some owners put under the heading of a insurance policy, is a home warranty. And I, like nearly all property managers, really hate home warranties. I believe they're not of value for the owner. The reason for that is that if you, a homeowner, log a request for a hot water heater, for example, in your home, there are 3 parties to that deal. You, the vendor who comes to do the work, and the company that's going to pay for it, the home warranty insurance company. 3 parties. If I do it, there's 5 parties to the deal. You, the vendor, the insurance company, me, and the tenant. It's virtually impossible to get anything done in that scenario. The insurance company has no obligation to me, no obligation to the tenant. They don't know who either of us even are. They're not inclined to believe us when we call, and they're not responsive in letting anyone know, especially me or the tenant, what the status of a repair is. These things are train wrecks almost all the time. I believe it never serves an owner to have a home warranty. It's never a cost savings in the end for an owner to have a home warranty. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm Andy Ritan of Ritan Property Group.